Welcome, Team Beep. Today we're in for something special. You've heard the stories, but now it's time to get a sneak peek into the mind of the creator behind it all. Join us as Darynda Jones takes you behind the scenes and shares the vision, inspiration, and early stages of the world she's crafting for you. Get ready to dive deep into the universe of Beep and Osh and see what's in store. Over to you, Darynda.
So I once got an award for my world building, and let me tell you, no one was more surprised than I was. I was very honored. It was a pretty prestigious award, and I didn't really think about it until afterward, and I was like, wait, my world building? What do I do that's special in my world? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. It's all for me based on my characters, because I don't write epic fantasy. So in epic fantasy, you're talking huge, massive amounts of world building. You're talking, religions and political systems and environment and, all of those things. Are there child-eating crocodile monsters that are 20 feet tall? Just whatever your world is, that's just kind of the story, it's just part of the story. And so I don't really think about it. It's like asking, well, how do you walk? Well, I put one step in front of the other. How do you walk? So this is actually, it's a very odd question and I get asked a lot, how do I do my world building? And I think what I do is I start from my characters. And for example, for Charlie Davidson, I wanted an everyday world with a paranormal, supernatural, underlying element. And in that supernatural part, what kind of people are there? And I did veer toward more like a Christian mythology type of story, in that there are angels and demons and that sort of thing. But I mean, you could go with anything. You can go with fae and I have ghosts, of course. And so that's just the direction I went with Charlie Davidson and the direction that I will go with Beep. But, you create your do's and don'ts, your magic, your powers, whatever there is. What are the benefits and the drawbacks? For example, in the Graveyard Dog, the love interest, Izzy, can make anyone do whatever she wants just by saying it out loud, just by telling them. And you would think that, wow, that's so cool. That's a great, gift. You can get anything you want. But she found out over the years that there are horrible, horrible consequences. If for some reason the person cannot do what she tells them to do, they will die trying, and she can't reverse it once it's done. So that was part of my world. That was part of my rules. I create the rules. She can tell them what to do, but she can't reverse it. And if she doesn't word it exactly right, there can be dire consequences. So that's always fun. You're good and you're bad. There's always good and bad to everything. And then, of course, you have your structures and your buildings and houses and all of that. And since I, again, set that in Albuquerque, that wasn't a big deal. I do tend to, my businesses are usually fictional. Not always, but usually. And like in Albuquerque, for example, I use a lot of the restaurants there because they have such good food in Albuquerque. But for, businesses that, like I have a bank robbery or whatever, they're usually not real. And in Beep and Osh, there's going to be, he is going to have, an entire building and high-rise building. And he's been doing a lot, trying to keep Beep safe and thinking that, she's going to be very far away. He's not going to have to worry about her. He's kind of keeping her safe on a different front. And then she stumbles into a job, at his building, not knowing that he owns it. And so that's just created so many fun. There's so many fun, kind of like office antics, in the first book. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I hope that you guys like it as much as I do.